Leos, my beautiful Leos, welcome to your May 2025 reading. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided to readings. You don't even know if you have Leo in your chart. That's okay. I read through my spirit guides, so your spirit guides know if you're going to be here. Matter of fact, for some of you, they probably nudged you here. You could certainly be in love with the Leo, platonically, romantically. I have a lot of Leo love in my life. My mom, August 5th, well, my grandson first, August 23rd, right on that cusp of Cancer and Leo. And then my mom, August 5th. My son was August 12th. My soul sister Diane is the 16th. And then my boyfriend Sam is on the other side of the cusp. He's a Virgo, but he is on the 23rd, um, though he claims he's a Leo. And in, some astrology he is a Leo, but so am I. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I feel really good about your reading, Leo, and I have been starting each reading with a special message, and I just love the message. Oops, I just pulled two. That's all right. I just love the message that came for you. It says, I am open to receiving all the gifts that life has to give me. I am open to receiving all the gifts that life has to give me. Okay. So that feels like good news. I have to just say, like right off the bat, I have a very good feeling about your reading. Doesn't mean that, like, life issues won't come in, but if they do, I have a feeling we're going to find our way out at the same time. So we are going to use a few different decks. We will give Mother Mary the honor of opening up our reading. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper. We are going to use the major arcanas for, I really use them as like bullet points, but many of you know now who follow the channel that um, they tell a lot of times their own beautiful little story, but then they'll relate back to the main spread. So for the main spread, we're going to use Archangel Messages Tarot. Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. This is why I don't remember a lot of my decks, because usually I don't keep the boxes because I don't have the room. But I kept the box to these so I wouldn't forget, because these are new. But I've been using them for everyone throughout the month of May, really breaking them in, and let's just say it's very seldom that I buy a deck. I really have to be like intuitively guided to it, and I couldn't even really afford to buy it. But like I had to. Something was just telling me. So I welcome into the family, and I feel like so far they've been doing very, very well. All right. Let me grab one more drink of coffee. There must be something planetary going on, because I swear I just can't get enough coffee lately. And it's not that I even have low energy. I don't know. All right. So let's go ahead and open up this reading. By the way, that blue light that you see, it is a company that I'm going to shoot a promotional video for them, but I wanted to put him up and try him first, so I did. Let me know what you think. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Um, yeah, because I can remove them too. Anyway, back to you. So we will start with Mother Mary. Let's go ahead and give them a shuffle. And by the way, anyone who is new, first, welcome to our beautiful soul family. But I do want to let you know that I do pre-shuffle everything. It's just like my time to meditate, but I was meditating on you. All right, and this is what's making me feel happy. So I have a feeling this is going to be a happy reading. So we'll see. All right, Mother Mary, for our gorgeous Leos and those intuitively guided. The one thing I feel Leo, well, I feel many things about Leo, but considering that the sun is your ruler, it is. I feel like many Leos are meant to be in some type of a spotlight. Like I feel like many Leos can climb to the top, be like the best in their field. Doesn't mean it's always on you. Sometimes it's not, but I feel like if you can find it, you're gonna find it. If it can find you, it's gonna find you. All right, enough talking. All right, we got a few. I'm gonna bring the lid down first. We have patience. Why I'm laughing is I feel like Leo doesn't have a lot of patience. Um, it's not that you can't be patient, don't get me wrong, but you're doers. You go after things. So having patience, can be a little bit difficult. But I have to say, this reminds me of temperance, which speaks about divine timing. So if patience is needed, well, maybe I give it a little patience because something is opening up in divine timing. Well, I should have just read the card. I trust in divine timing. I often look at this unicorn and I think to myself, this unicorn could just stand up and like climb right over that gate. But he's not. He's chilled out, he's relaxed. It's like when he gets that signal, it's go time. Okay, patience. We have truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. Feel like there's no other way to be. And then we have beautiful enthusiasm. So, patience, but then this feels like something that you're going to get excited about. I like the truth is in between the two because I feel like it's really important that we are very honest with ourselves, but also honest with others. So, enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Makes complete sense for you. So, enthusiasm reminds me of like the Three of Pentacles. I'm sorry, like the Three of Wands. That energy of just trusting that your ships will come in their due time. Okay, so let's put Mother Mary right here. See if we can get her to stand up. There we go. And let's bring in the major arcanas. Give them a cut. Look at this. Hello, your major arcana. Hello, your ruler, the sun. Beautiful. I feel like interesting we have the hermit next to that card of Virgo. So your neighbor. This speaks about your spirituality though. We're in a year 9. We're in the final ninth year of a 9-year chapter. So it is really important that we be really truthful with ourselves and others. I love this because it looks like what it's doing is illuminating your spirituality, illuminating um your wisdom. Maybe you are the illuminator for some. Like I could totally see you helping others in a spiritual way, but based off of your own experiences. I love those two energies together. All right. We have, well, hello, Leo again, the strength card. And the Hermit is illuminating the strength card. The Sun's illuminating the Hermit. And then the Hermit's illuminating the strength card. And then we have a Tower. Um, Interesting because the strength card really speaks about knowing oneself, and that may be where Mother Mary was talking about truth also, knowing oneself, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. She's got the infinity symbol as goggles, as above, so below, no beginning, no end. And to me, it also represents, or let me put it a different way, what I'm feeling is spiritual guidance with us right now. Some of you, there could certainly be things about yourself that maybe caused powers, not to put all the blame, I'm not putting all the blame on you, but with the strength card right next to the tower, because the tower's already happened. I feel like some of you have done like a lot of work on yourselves. And I say work, I don't know if that's the right word. Um, I feel like you've had a lot of realizations. It's like what's held you back, or even what is holding you back. And again, the Hermit is helping to illuminate that. So it's like looking through a spiritual lens. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out, and then we'll move. Okay. I just had a feeling something else wanted to come out, and it is your intuition, the High Priestess. First of all, how do I love the High Priestess mirroring the sun? Like, again, the sun is going to illuminate everything for us. But this is illuminating your intuition, not only your intuition, but your spirituality. I feel like you've been through something difficult. No doubt it was difficult. But I also feel like you came out the other end, or you are coming out the other end, stronger than you've ever been. And I'm not kidding. Like, I feel that. Like I'm stronger than I've ever been. It doesn't mean everything's going perfect. Interesting. Just hear the train's blowing its horn, or whatever you call it. But why I'm saying that is it's very seldom I hear the train. But this is what I imagine in my mind, that as this train is going by, because it always blows its horn right, like it's up the street. Um, but I always feel like our spirit guides are on that train, and they're blowing that horn just to like say hello, let us know that they're here. Okay. So, anyways, there's a lot of illumination already. There are some issues, but again, I feel like these are things that you're either dealing with or you have dealt with. We have an eight right in the middle. So eights do speak about a new beginning. It is the number of infinity. Um, and honestly, Leo, I feel like there's no tower that you cannot overcome if you put your mind to it. Like, really. I just feel like you have this ability to bounce back. Doesn't mean immediately. Sometimes things set us back for a while. But I don't feel like I should be, what do I want to say? Like, I want to say sad about it because, and maybe during it I was, but I feel like something major is changing. And it feels like, it almost feels like good rewards. What was your saying? I am open to receiving all the gifts that life has to give me. Hmm. Okay. All right. Let's bring in the main spread. And this will definitely let us know more. More, more. It's funny. I saw Billy Idol. He was on. He was on a talk show. He looks exactly the same. Okay. I want to say Happy Mother's Day. It's interesting. Like you're the only sign that I said that with. I don't know why I didn't say it with the other signs because we're in the month of May. So Happy Mother's Day. If you're, a single parent, male or female, still Happy Mother's Day. All right, we have the Queen of Fire. So chances are that you intelligent, determined, exuberant. That sounds like you. I also feel the Queen of Wands is, first of all, she's definitely my risk taker. And I feel like you're definitely my risk taker. She's someone who definitely follows her passions. She's actually looking right back at Mother Mary's messages. And what's Mother Mary say? Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. But she's picking that up. She's like, all right, now I know. It's interesting. Patience came out with Mother Mary also. And I feel like I need to be patient as the cards come out. Whoa. Hello, lovers. I haven't seen this one yet. When I buy a new deck, by the way, I don't look at the images. I shuffle everything face down because I really want to see it when you see it. So this is the first time I'm seeing the lovers in this deck. Card of Gemini, first of all. The meaning of the lovers is a head over heart decision. Here it says relationships, emotions, choices. Choices. The lovers. Right in this corner, we have um, Gemini, Leo, Virgo, Leo, and then the Queen, which I do feel is you, can be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Why do I forget the other sign all of a sudden? But anyways, hello, lovers. Under the Hermit, that puts a whole spiritual twist on it in a good way. We have the Page of Cups under the Strength card. We have Hello Ace of Wands. opportunity, creativity, action. And then we have the moon. So we have the feminine and the masculine energy, the sun being the masculine, the moon being the feminine energy. Interesting because we also have the lovers. Actually, let me slide this all over just a hair. The moon is the card of Pisces, but the ruler of Cancer. So now you got four neighbors in a row: Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Anyway, we have the Page of Cups right in the middle, and the Page of Cups is coming right under the Strength card. I just want to say, mm, something is just making me feel like, well, how do I say this? I feel like there may have been something in your life, something that tempted you to it, something that may have gotten in your way, that may have caused towers. But I feel like this is something that you've been working on, something you've been overcoming. I feel like you do. And I don't want to put a negative twist on this, but I feel like I had to say that. What I would say is just stay strong. You know what I mean? Like if there's something that tempts you to it, that will just get in your way of really what you want to produce in the world, then just know it. You know what I mean? But other than that, let's look at this. So we have the moon right next to the ace of fire. The moon can speak of, well, here it says intuition, illusion, revelation. So the moon, it is very dreamy type energy, and it is in line with the lovers. And right before it is an energy of asking you to take action. I have a feeling that the lovers is something that's coming into your life, you being one of them, of course. And then I feel like the action will be up to you, whether you decide to take it or not. Let's not forget the moon can be very dreamy, dreamy type energy. And intuition is written here. And then you have the high priestess right above it. So your intuition's not going to let you down. And your intuition is being illuminated by your ruler, the sun. So I feel like there's nothing to fear here. Quite the opposite. Like things to start to get excited about. Remember the Ace of Wands, it's passion ignited. So something's going to ignite like a passion within you, whether it be a person, and it can be multiple things. It doesn't have to be just love, but I have a feeling that's part of it. But I feel like it could also activate maybe some things you want to do in the world. I feel like for some of you, it's like when you lay your head down in the pillow at night, that's when you start receiving like ideas and epiphanies. They may make no sense when you receive them. And if you are, what I would tell you to do is just keep a little notebook by your bed, in your nightstand. And when you wake up, write down what you remember. Or if it wasn't a dream, it's something before you went to sleep, still write it down because chances are you're going to go revisit that one day and it's just going to make sense. Some of you, you have a book in the making and you don't even know it yet. or you have a song in the making, like the perfect lyrics come out of like everything I've been writing down. And I just want to say also, because I feel like there may be someone out there who may say to themselves, like, I don't feel deserving of, blessings. Um, and I feel like if that's the case, chances are it's because of, something that you did overcome. Why is this not? Um, I feel like you overcame. But listen, you know, maybe it still has like a little bit of after effects, like, like an earthquake still has like aftershocks. Um, I do feel like there's a need to really trust yourself also though. And that's why your intuition is being illuminated. That's why Mother Mary is asking you to be truthful with yourself. Well, on the strength card, that's what you're doing. Be patient. Well, I feel like you've been patient, but now it kind of feels like we're moving, like it's time to move in a new direction. We have the Six of Cups. Interesting. The Lovers and the Six of Cups. Memories, childhood, nostalgia. Under the Queen. Six of Cups can certainly represent someone that we know. Someone from, like, let's say back in the day. This could be who this page is. A page, first of all, the Page of Cups is you. It's your inner child, first and foremost. Excuse me, one second. Okay, sorry about that. Um, I had to shut my window. It was getting too loud. All right, so what I think I was saying is the Six of Cups can certainly speak about someone that you used to know, someone of your past. You could still know them. I kind of love that the sun's illuminating that. So if this has anything to do with the lovers, I feel like we're gonna figure it out. We'll see if there's any synchronicities. We have, well, hello, Page of Fire, Page of Wands. So we do have two pages now surrounding the lovers. We have the Page of Cups looking right at them. We have the Page of Wands right below them. I feel like this is your current self. This may have been your younger self. The Page of Wands is the one I call my risk taker because this is what I feel like, and I feel this with you. Like you're willing to take chances. You're willing to take risks, and you know that not all of them pay off, but some of them do, and some of them really pay off. And the ones that don't, you just get back up again. Now, it could take a moment. I'm not saying you get right back on the horse again, but it's very hard to keep a Leo down for too long. You know what I mean? Like, even in love, like, if you, this is just what I'm picking up, like, if you don't make it clear with a Leo whether you like them or you don't, chances are they're just going to keep moving forward, you know, alone. But, anyways, these two pages with the Six of Cups, I can't help but think that this is someone that you may already know. But let me say this. If it is, this would be someone who is probably very much like you. Someone that you would definitely have good memories about. Interesting. Oh, all right. We have the Three of Swords. Under the Page of Cups, we have the Six of Swords. Beautiful. That means you're moving on from that Three of Swords. And then look at this with Hermit again. So double Virgo. Under the Moon, the Hermit is mirroring the Six of Cups. So if nothing else, what it's telling me is if this is relating back to the lovers, then I feel like both must be, let's just say, looking at life through a spiritual lens. You know, it's interesting that the Three of Swords is here, but the Three of Swords is mirroring the Strength card. So I feel like that is something that you had to overcome. You know, sorrow, forgiveness, but then healing. And then you get the Six of Swords right after that. Wow, that is moving on. That is saying goodbye to yesteryear. You know, the things that didn't work out, the people and situations that became toxic. You know, I mean, it is mirroring the Tower. So I kind of love this energy because, first of all, I feel like this is someone who's bold to do this, right? To be able to put the past in the past. That doesn't mean you're putting all the past behind you, because I just have a feeling that someone's coming into your life. But in the meantime, first of all, this would make you free and clear. And then you have the Ace of Wands above that. You know, it's like you clear the toxicity in your life, and then I feel like your intuition just becomes, well, your GPS, exactly as it's meant to be. Like, I feel like you're trusting it more than you ever have. And I don't feel like it's going to let you down. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo, because we do have double Virgo, or two people who are on this spiritual journey. Even the moon, 8 plus 1 is 9. 9, two sixes, 2 pages, 3 6s, sorry, 2 pages, 2 high priestess. I just want to give you the synchronicities, the masculine and the feminine. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Well, hello, Emperor. Dun, 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 dun. Can be a father figure, for sure. Emperor, organization, leadership, structure. That's how the emperor thinks. Excuse me. The emperor can definitely be the energy of also like business ownership. I definitely feel like the emperor is like enjoys helping to lead people. You know, not with like a iron fist. This is someone who they enjoy helping, let's just say, the underdog. They enjoy helping someone better their lives. And I feel like if someone didn't want to take the emperor's advice, then the emperor would just move on from that or from them. See what's underneath him. The chariot. Okay. Um, it is card of Aries, by the way. All right, let's bring in the major arcanas and let's go deeper. Let's see if these pages are also the lovers. You know, the Six of Cups has you in movement. Doesn't have to be physical movement, but for some of you, it may be physical movement, which takes me right back to the Six of Cups. I'm sorry, the Six of Swords is movement, which takes me back to the Six of Cups. So the remembrance maybe of a place that, you have a lot of happy memories of. Some of you may be like moving back home or moving back to a place. Again, I feel it would bring you happiness. All right. Wow. That took no time at all. All right. We have the Four of Cups. Interesting. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. We have the Ten of Wands over the Lovers. Hmm. Look at this. The Knight of Cups over the Page of Cups. So, first of all, another thing a page can represent is what's in the atmosphere, what is yet to reach you, but it's in the atmosphere. It's like it's in the works. Well, how about an unexpected couple fulfillment? And then, hello, Magician, over the Ace of Wands, where it's asking for action. And then the Magician, like the Magician can produce whatever the Magician wants to produce. And you are the Magician here, by the way. Another pattern I've been noticing is we are getting the Hermit a lot in the readings, but I do feel like some of it is relating to, again, this is the last year of a 9-year cycle. And we really do want to think about this because we're opening up a whole new 9 years. I feel like this is a good time to really know, like, what do I want to bring along and what's got to go? What's no longer serving me? How do I want to see my life? And then taking the action steps. The Magician is a reminder that you already possess everything you need to be successful. But then the Ace of Wands, inspired action. Following the Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. But let's go back for a second and let's look at the Four of Cups, because this is where it begins. So the Four of Cups is about learning to use one's spiritual discernment. You have a lot of energy of your spirituality on the table. There's a cup coming in. Now, this cup is coming from the hand of divine. It's not one of these cups. It's coming in towards you. And this is why you want to use your spiritual discernment. This usually means that there's discontentment or boredom, but it's in one's emotional life. So you may have other areas like together, but lacking one area. And I'm saying lacking, I don't feel like you have to have love in your life to have a good life. But it does feel like, it kind of feels like you do want it though. So here's this cup. And then we have the Knight of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups, which is the one who's ushering it in. It's interesting that the Ten of Wands is coming over the Lovers. It almost makes me feel like they've been together before. There could have been a somewhat unfairness within this, where in the Ten of Wands, it's like someone's carrying all the responsibilities on their shoulders. Hmm. Okay. But I'm also picking up that this is someone else. And this is something that they had to go through. I'm saying they had to go through. They didn't have to go through it, but I feel like to have soul um evolution, they did. It's interesting because I just get this feeling that you've been on someone's mind. And I don't know that you even know that. But I do feel like you have been on someone's mind. Maybe you've been on someone's mind for many, many years. And maybe this other person has ended something. Because the sun's illuminating the Ten of Wands also. But then the Hermit, right? Finding my spirituality, especially through the difficult times. I have a feeling someone freed themselves. Like probably could have been a marriage, but let's just say was in a relationship that I don't feel like it worked out. And I do feel like they freed themselves. And it's interesting because I feel like, even during, let's say it was a marriage, I still feel like they thought about you. Now, it could be the other way around, or it could be both of you. All right, well, let's keep going. But then you look at the Three of Swords as mirroring the Strength card. So I feel like if, let's say you had your heart broken, I feel like you're overcoming that. All right. We have the Five of Wands. Interesting. We have the King of Pentacles. Could be a Virgo. We have a lot of Virgo on the table. It could also be Capricorn or Taurus, but it doesn't have to be any of that. But we'll see. And then, well, hello, Fool. I knew someone freed themselves. So right under that Ten of Wands where I felt, first of all, I felt the struggle. I felt the unfairness. And I feel the leaving. I feel the ending of it. So the Fool's about a new beginning. It is about taking a leap of faith, but it's coming over the Page of Wands. Again, my risk taker. How interesting that you have the Page of Cups that has the Knight of Cups over it, that unexpected cup of fulfillment, and then the Fool over this page. So the Fool means free, free and clear, ready to take a leap. And we'll see who this king is, but the king is connected to that Six of Cups. The only thing that I don't really love is the Five of Wands. But this may be something that you've overcame. This is definitely an energy of ego. All of a sudden I'm realizing we've gone from the Ten of Wands down to the Five. Listen, I feel like someone did not have it easy in a love relationship. And I don't know why I don't feel like it's you. But that doesn't mean it's not. Like, I want you to trust your own intuition. This is just what I'm picking up. I do feel like someone freed themselves. And I feel like, let's just take a little glimpse into that relationship. I feel like there was a lot of ego, like, probably a lot of fighting. I get this feeling also. Let's say this was you, and this could have been you. Um, because often I feel when we see these synchronicities that two people have gone through like similar type experiences. But anyways, I was going to give you a glimpse into that relationship. So I feel like it doesn't feel like there was deep deep love. This was probably a personal choice, like a human decision, not a spiritual decision. Doesn't mean that it didn't teach. It probably did. I feel like when we see the Ten of Wands, the one thing I know is I don't want to repeat that energy. But then I kind of love now how I'm seeing the Ten of Wands go down to the five. Okay. Hello, Four of Swords, right over the Three of Swords, right where we needed it. Healing. I already felt that though. Three of Swords mirroring the Strength card. I felt that that's what you were doing. You were overcoming. You're healing the past. And it may be two people, both lovers, but separately, like in their own lives. This is definitely overcoming past heartache. I mean, you do have to allow it though, and when I see the Four of Swords, I always notice these three swords, which really are piercing the heart. But there's one sword down here, and I feel like this is our truth. Like this is our sword. We have to know what that means, you know. Maybe one's part within this. Sometimes it simply can be I stayed too long. It went the whole way to the Ten of Wands. But let's look at the positive nature of this, the healing of that broken heart. And who knows, maybe this Knight of Cups has a little bit to do with that. I never feel like other people are going to save us, but they can certainly help heal us. And vice versa, by the way. And the lovers, I feel like the lovers have a very special chemistry. I feel like some of the difficult energies we're seeing, we have to know where we've been to know where we're going. You know what I mean? Like we have to be willing to clear the past so that we have a lot of opportunity. Think of the fool. And by the way, the fool's greatest mentor is right here, the magician. That's what the magician teaches the fool. Like you possess everything you need to truly be successful. I feel like that's also where Mother Mary is coming in. Divine timing. Well, I feel like because someone had to free themselves. They didn't have to. They wanted to. I just get the sense that, I'm not going to say that there was no love. Something attracted two people together. And again, I feel like this is, I'm talking about the other person's relationship right now. Um, and I do feel like it was more free will. I don't feel like it was predestined. I don't feel like it's karmic. I feel like it's just simply a choice that I made where I feel probably pretty quickly. Though I do feel like they stayed for a while, which makes me think more that this is probably the Page of Cups versus the Page of Wands, because the Page of Cups, I feel like would stay longer than the Page of Wands would. So I just feel like you've been on their mind, making me think of a Willie Nelson song. To all the girls I loved before. That's not the song I'm thinking of, though. Hello, star. Hello, hopes, dreams, and wishes. How about we manifest some of them? Card of Aquarius. This really is about your dreams, your wishes. I love the magician above it. Like, what do you want to manifest today? And the star coming over the Six of Swords. To me, it's a sign from the universe. Like when we clear the past, it doesn't mean that we're completely healed, but when we know enough is enough and we're willing to take action steps, right? Like if you remember that this is your life, right? This is your lifetime, not someone else's, yours, to do with whatever you want to do with it. So I love that the star is coming over the energy of you clearing the past and then dreams and wishes opening up. We have the Five of Pentacles. Interesting, we have two fives right here. Five of Pentacles coming over the Hermit. Five of Pentacles usually means something happened outside of our control. It's not easy, but in the Five of Pentacles, I feel like I got to keep moving. I feel like also it's moving you towards soulmate energy. I don't know it during the time. And when I say soulmate energy, I'm not just talking love. I'm talking like the right soulmate, like I'm about to take a left when my path is really to the right and a soulmate comes along and just kind of pushes me to the right. And that's all they were meant to do. And then they're gone. Soulmates come in many, many different forms. But anyway, I say that because I feel like that's what you're heading towards. All right, let's go right underneath it also. I wasn't going to, but something is telling me to, so I'm going to listen. Beautiful. Three of Wands. Relating right back to Mother Mary again. Enthusiasm. Three of Wands is someone who is living in the present moment, just like the Fool, right? Just like the magician would tell you, everything starts in the present moment. Your signs, guidance is sent to you in the present moment. But this is also really trusting in divine, because this is someone saying that I know my ships will come in, and I know they'll come in divine timing. This is someone who's pretty happy. And I love that it's mirroring your major arcana, the sun. You know, something makes me feel like this King of Pentacles is on one of these ships and about to reach shore. All right, well, hello, Queen of Pentacles. Hello, Six of Cups again. Ace of Wands again. Eight of Cups. Beautiful. This is good energy to see. I'll tell you why in a moment. And then look at this, the Seven of Swords. Untrustworthy energy. The thief in the night. That's what they call this energy. It's usually a lack mentality. This can be someone who tells a lot of lies. Makes it very hard to believe them. I've always said that in relationships, like, don't tell me lies, because once you lie, then, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo, so, you know, but it is the truth. I feel like once someone lies to me, then it's very hard for me to, like, trust them again. I'd rather hear the hard truth. But anyways, look at what's coming out with it. The Eight of Cups. So someone's had emotional clarity. Someone's moving on. This person's heading towards the Nine of Cups, inner harmony, fulfillment of wishes. I feel like there is nothing left to save if this is an old relationship. It just feels like there's nothing left to save other than myself. Other than myself. So, I don't mind seeing, matter of fact, I'm very happy to see the Eight of Cups. That means these thighs, this Ten of Wands, that means it's not having an effect on me. Now, if it's not you in that Ten of Wands, then it's no longer having an effect on the person that was in it. The Queen and the King of Pentacles. I know you're not an earth sign, but I feel like that's you. You're one of these people. Look at the Six of Cups. Now connected to the Knight of Cups and healing. The Ace of Wands. With the Ace of Wands right under the Magician. And then the Star. It's after the movement. Like, honestly, I feel like what dreams, what wishes do you have today? And how can we manifest them? It feels that easy. Though I feel like some of these things, like this unexpected couple fulfillment, I don't feel like it's coming. You may feel it. And I do, I can't help but feel that this is someone that you know. Because I get this feeling that, like, you've always been on my mind. So chances are you were together, let's say, way back in the day. You could have been children, or young adults. And, when you see pages that's connected to love, think about that for a second because a page is still learning, right? A page is still learning. It's the queen or king where hopefully at that point they've learned that lesson. Page of Cups, I'm still learning how to love. Page of Wands, I'm learning how to take chances. Boy, do I like the Fool that's connecting the Queen and King. And then the energy of optimism. This cup that's coming in. I know who it is. I feel like you know who it is. Well, maybe you know, maybe you don't. It feels like it's meant to happen. It just does. It feels like it is meant to happen. And what I really love about this is it's showing the clearing of the past first. That means I'm not bringing my baggage into a new relationship, nor are they bringing their baggage. Doesn't mean we won't talk about it. Of course you'll talk about it because there's healing that's connected to these lovers also. So talking about it may actually help. But I don't feel like it's something we harp on. I feel like once you reconnect, I feel like that's that. like you're in love, like you are in love. And who knows, maybe patience, it could be for you, but it could also be because I do feel like, again, someone is freeing themselves from a relationship. And, with all the spirituality on the table, it would make sense that divine would rather this person be free first. Doesn't always happen that way. And even if it doesn't happen that way, I just want to say that I feel like you own this person's heart. Chances are you've lived past lives together, because I feel like there will be. It's interesting because there was probably this recognition early on, but now I feel like we're adults. Feels romantic. It's full of passion. It is wishes coming true. It's the perfect energy of the reflection of this last year, because someone is definitely making a choice that anyone or anything that is untrustworthy, that it's just of a lower vibration. Let's just put it that way. Like, I'm just not taking it anymore. This is someone finding that emotional clarity and inner harmony. And I have a feeling about to chase a dream. So if you've been on someone's mind and in their heart, I have a feeling you're going to hear from them. All right. I want to come up, I want to look right at the lovers. The death card. Endings. Endings, transformation. This is the card of Scorpio. But this does mean that a door is closing. I feel like this person is choosing to close this door. But remember, with the death card, when one door closes, another door always opens. Wow, I have a feeling this person knows exactly what they want. They're moving on. They're moving on. Whether they can have you or not, they're still moving on, which is good news. That means that there's nothing, um, like, this isn't like where I have to be worried about their ex. Uh-uh. There's nothing to worry about. All right, let's come over and look at the Knight of Cups. Whoa, it's going right into the Magician. Okay, I feel like I got way too many cards. I am gonna I'm gonna pick these up. It's just too many. Justice. Card Libra. Interesting. I feel like we have Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. But anyways, justice is, it's cutting ties. Makes sense with the death card right before it. Could be someone getting a divorce. When justice comes out in a reading, though, it is about making one whole again, one's life fair again. But it does take using this sort of justice, because I feel like justice really speaks about balance. And, it's hard to live an unbalanced life. But I feel like using that sword And again, I don't know why I feel like it's the other person, but I feel like they're cutting ties. And then the high priestess again. You know what I want to say, Leo? This is energy you should really feel. I love, I don't love the energy of justice, but I do love it here. Because again, I feel like it's important that you know. And listen, both of you may be going through similar situations. You may both be dealing with the same similar type of energy. But it is like enough is enough. It definitely the ending. It's the ending of a relationship, but a relationship that needed to end. Listen, it wasn't serving anyone. And again, with the Knight of Cups, because we're looking at the Knight of Cups, it's like they're doing it because of you. Well, let me take that back. They're doing it because they're not happy. But I also feel like they're doing it for you. That still didn't sound right. Not for you. I feel like the person wants to see if they have a chance with you. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's pick these up. And, oh, what's missing there? Oh, the Three of Wands. I don't know where it went. Where is the Three of Wands? Anyway, I don't know where it went. Um, just trying to think if there's anything else I want to look at before we bring out the clarifying love situations. I feel like the story is pretty clear. And I promise you, I did not try to make this a love reading. But boy, does it feel like it's talking about love. But let me tell you, not just any old love. Because I do feel the ability for both to help heal each other's broken little pieces. You know, you're going to feel full again. They're going to feel full again. This just feels like it's meant to happen. The ball will be put in your court. You can say no. I see nowhere where you're like where I feel like you would say no. Because I feel like at the very beginning is you within the Queen of Wands. So that means the Four of Cups is also yours. That means a cup is coming in. It's coming in the light. There's nothing to fear here. And then the Six of Cups right below that. That moves into the Lovers. Okay. Um, let's just go across the whole table. But I have to tell you, my mind is looking at the star or thinking of the star. But beyond that, I just want any other messages that want to come out. Come on out. Come on out. Okay. We have the Hierophant, card of Taurus. Hello, Ace of Cups. Wow. That's why I felt like the reading wasn't finished. Look at that. And by the way, hello, Knight of Cups right above it. Hello, Six of Cups right below it. The Hierophant, card of Taurus, first of all. But it is about one's belief system. You know, do you keep hope alive? Do you believe that there can be true love? love that's truly meant to last a lifetime. It doesn't guarantee that these lovers won't have any issues, but because I feel like the Hierophant is talking about both have evolved, definitely on a spiritual level, but even beyond that, I mean, what is beyond that? I don't know. The Hierophant to me is morals. It's living in the light. Do you believe in love? Do you believe in love after love? I mean, hello, Ace of Cups. Okay. I feel like that answered the question. The Ace of Cups really speaks of unconditional love. And if this was a relationship, I'm looking at the Six of Cups. If that was a relationship when you were younger, again, I feel like there's maturity, number one. But I just have a feeling the love never really died. The love never died. The relationship did, but not the love. Now, that doesn't mean that each of you didn't go on and live your lives and fall in love with other people. You did. But I get this feeling like it could never match, or why do I keep thinking about this one person? Well, I know why. All right, let's bring up the clarifying love situations. I want to remind you that this love, it is unexpected. But again, I feel with all the spirituality on the table that this is energy that you're going to be able to feel before it even comes in. Now, let's say there's someone on your mind, someone in your heart. By all means, I feel like then you should reach out. I don't feel like we should always wait for the other person. But part of me is thinking that maybe that's what divine is asking for because, again, maybe they're clearing something up that it would be best that I just stay out of it. It's like, why put more fuel on the fire? I feel like that's what divine is saying. All right. Okay. Too many, but we'll take those. All right. Let's take what's face up first. Awakened rebirth. Become conscious, stay aware, and embrace the renewal of your essence. So, depending on which way the card comes out, there's a message on the top and the bottom. Awakened rebirth. Become conscious. Stay aware. Well, there's a reason why you're being asked to stay aware and embrace the renewal of your essence. That's quite beautiful. Flight plan. Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Amen to that. I know that. All right, let's bring out the romance angels, which I was only going to do if love came into the picture, but man, this whole reading feels, I don't want to say it's just about love, but it is about your happiness. This feels like this may be one of the best times in your life, but just the beginning of it. All right. Getting to know you. This has been coming out a lot. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. What I love about this image is there's a man, it looks like he's trying to win this woman over. She's got a big smile on her face, like she's enjoying it. But there's a child there too. And interesting that we have the father figure. So some of you could be a single father or a single mother. And I say that because I feel like if you're a single parent, you're both the mother and the father. But anyways, I feel like this is someone who, first of all, I feel like the conversation's going to be deep. Getting to know you, getting to know each other. Now, if this is someone that I already know, that's why I feel like it's someone from quite a while ago. Because it is like getting to know each other. It reminds me of Sam and I's story. We knew each other as teenagers. We fell in love as teenagers. It didn't work out. We were just too immature at the time. But 40 years after the fact, we had to get to know each other. We had to get to know each other again. All right. Well, hello, wedding. This situation involves marriage. How could it not? Like, that's how I feel. Like, how could it not? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get married, but to me, the wedding represents true commitment. Remember how I literally just said I felt like this is, you know, it starts at the beginning, but then I feel like it has the opportunity to last the rest of your lives? Well, I feel like that's why wedding came out, just to confirm what I was saying. So you're getting to know each other again, but that's romantic. That's fun. I mean, that is playful. That's flirtatious. It's all of that. Remember, the sun is that inner child. That is the playfulness part of you. Don't hide that. Like, I just love that part of you. So I feel like simply this is saying that this has the opportunity to truly last for the rest of your lives. And even the emperor, I feel like it's a representation of someone maturing, someone becoming, let's just say, I don't know why I have this song in my mind, A Better Man. I don't even know who sings it. I just know it's a country song, which I'm not really, I mean, I shouldn't say I'm not a country fan. I love all music. Um, but something is making me feel that, like I'm a better man or I'm a better woman. I've evolved quite a bit. And by the way, it can also represent that they may have children, you may have children, but I don't feel like that is an issue at all. I just have a feeling, let's just say within the month of May, I'm going to, you're going to watch this first, and you may not respond at that time, but I feel like the time will come when this starts to come together. And then I already see you. Like, I see people making comments like, oh my God, Sandy, it actually happened. Well, I know it's going to actually happen. I can't say that for everyone, but it may look different for different people. But as I say that, I feel like if you're here, then there are definitely messages in here for you. And I feel like if there's, even though I feel like Temperance is saying Patience, my child. That's why I feel like it's the other person. It's not that you're not dealing with things, but I feel like what they're dealing with, it feels like it's a must to end for this to really open up in the beautiful way that it wants to open up. So I feel like that's where the patience is coming in. But listen, this Knight of Cups, it's on the top line. The Four of Cups coming in. This is the carrier of that cup. Here is the actual cup, the Ace of Cups. That Ace of Cups leads to a true commitment. And listen, the stars right there too. Our hopes, our dreams. And listen how I'm saying our hopes, our dreams, and our wishes. You know, I felt this was beautiful. I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but I feel the beauty in it. I feel, and listen, because I've been there, as it speaks about someone of the past, I've been there. And I already know some people are going to write comments like, there's no way in hell I'll take so and so back. Well, that's probably not who I'm talking about then. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel that. So you don't even need to write that. I mean, you can if you want. But, like if you don't want to take someone back, just don't take them back. But for those, well, I feel like for those who know, who feel what I'm talking about, I feel like, are you taking them back? Yes. Are they taking you back? Yes. Or it just feels magical. Dreams and wishes are being answered in the most beautiful of ways. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? All right, I think I'm gonna let that be. Um, wow, Leo. My beautiful Leos are falling in deep, deep love. And I could not be happier for you. All right, let's let that be. I love you guys. I thank you. I'll see you next time oh, by the way, I want to say real quick. Um, so I did put a post out saying that I plan on taking the summer off from just doing personal readings. Not, I'll still be doing YouTube and other things, and I probably will take a reading here and there. If somebody needs me, I'm going to do that reading. Um, but I still am taking a few more. Um, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I've had a few questions, or I've had a few people ask me. But the truth is, you know, even if I'm taking a break, but I feel like you really need it, then I'm going to do that reading. I'm not going to think twice about it. All right. Anyways, I love you guys. Well, thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.